Zaku Bezrat Hashem Mincha is going to be 8:10. The Halacha tells us that, as we mentioned, Mayim Imtzayim Reshut, waters in between two tavshirim, between two different courses of the meal, is not an obligation. You don't have to do Netilat Yadayim between two courses of the meal. That's up to the person. We said it's different if it's cheese and then meat. Of course, he's going to have to do Netilat Yadayim. What happens in the Halacha? What happens if a person has fish and then he has meat? So the Gemara says that when he has fish and then he has meat, Mayim Imtzayim Chova. It's an obligation to go ahead and to wash hands. Of course, this is the most common out of all the examples. How many times do people have cheese and then have meat? It's unlikely. But fish and meat is almost every house every week. On Shabbat especially, you have fish and then you have meat. So the Gemara is saying, and it's brought down in Halacha in the Shulchan Aruch, that a person is supposed to wash his hands between having fish and having meat. Some say, well, today we use forks, we use knives. Even still, a person is supposed to wash his hands between having it, because even with a fork and a knife, sometimes you end up touching, and then you're going to eat up the meat. And the Gemara says that having fish and meat, although it's not prohibited mitzad the din, mitzad the halacha, however, it is a danger. And the danger is worse than even in the halacha. Hamira sakanata me'isura. Something that is asur is not as strict, is not treated as stringently as something that is dangerous. And therefore one would be required to wash his hands and also eat something in between and drink something in between, having fish and having meat. The fact that people aren't always so careful, it doesn't mean that that's the right thing to do. It is appropriate to do. So you don't have to bring like special cups or anything. You just go to the sink and you wash your hands. That's good enough, and that would cover the basis. Some people say, Tov, I'll just use a napkin. If it does a good job, then it works. But otherwise, you should clean it with water. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen.